Hello and welcome to We the People. At the best of times, the relationship between India and Pakistan can be described as complicated. It's sometimes adversarial, sometimes warm, but almost always extremely complex. But as the two states, the two governments of India and Pakistan work out their issues of history, of safety, of security, what about a simple humanitarian issue? That of prisoners on either side of the border. All kinds of prisoners, prisoners of war, untraced since 1971, fishermen who stray into each other's waters by accident and end up in each other's jails, and civilian prisoners who are often labelled as spies. Are these people literally prisoners of hostility, or do we need to separate the categories and look at each category separately? And I'd like to start with Justice Karju. You were a leading mover, as it were, when it came to the release of Dr. Chisti from Pakistan, who was in fact convicted in a murder case. But you intervened, you said that it had taken 18 years, he was an old man, he was not well. Let the case go on, but let him go back home. And that's effectively what happened. Why did you, as a judge, feel the need to intervene on behalf of somebody who had been described by other sections of the government as a convict?
I would not like to comment on the merits of the judicial case because it is still pending in the Supreme Court. It would not be proper. Though, with due respect to the verdicts of the trial court and the High Court, I have grave reservations about the correctness of those judgments. Because Dr. Chishti is not an ordinary man. He is a PhD from Edinburgh University. He is the top virologist in Pakistan. He had come to India to meet his ailing mother in Ajmer. Some incident happened with some collaterals. There was some firing, somebody was killed.
So you intervened because you were convinced of his innocence? Or is it because irrespective, you felt it had been 18 years, he was an old man, and let him go home and let the case go?
Both. He has been in India for 20 years. He was granted bail, but there were very stringent conditions that he could not go back to his home in Karachi for more than 20 years. And I felt that this is enough, and now pardon should be granted.
Okay, now this is the story of Dr. Chisti, but it raises many questions. KC Singh, what does a government do? There are simpler cases, and even those take years, when it comes to fisher folk. Even those take years, and it's considered some big CBM for either government to release them. But when it comes to cases where the courts of the country find people guilty, what does the other government do?
See, firstly, as a general principle, the relationship between the two countries going through its ups and downs, we tend to treat prisoners as hostages. By the same time, you must have treaty-based arrangements between the countries. You can't have ad hoc treatment of each case just because television brings it up or one judge takes up a case is not the way to deal with it. And that's why getting pardons, etc., is very difficult. So we must have, I've said this before, a transfer of prisoners agreement.
Irrespective of any kind of prisoner?
No, a transfer of prisoner merely means that the prisoner is allowed to go back to his country to serve the rest of his sentence.
What would happen to Ajmal Kasab?
No, we'll come to that in a bit.
Yeah.
So transfer of prisoner it's an agreement which we have with various countries, and there's no reason why we shouldn't have with Pakistan. So that each time we don't have to start asking for pardons, political intervention, waiting for prime ministerial visits, president of that country coming to Ajmer. I mean, it should not be
But not
subject
charges related to terrorism.
Yes, that would be in the agreement.
Yeah, quickly, because then I'd like to go to Pakistan and General Thaplin. Yeah.
See, Ajmal Kasab's case is very different from Sarabjit Singh's case. In Kasab's case, there's no doubt about his guilt. He was caught red-handed. Whereas in Sarabjit Singh's case, the evidence is extremely weak. Perhaps you have not even seen.
But Mr. KC Singh is saying is that putting aside perhaps complicated cases where the charge is terrorism, at least to start with, can there be a transfer of prisoners agreement between the two countries? Javed Jabbar, let's go to you first, joining us from Karachi today. Not just are you a former federal minister, you were also interestingly the producer of a film called Ramchand Pakistani, based on real facts of a little child and his father who strayed across the border accidentally, and how they lived apart from their family for years. Mr. Jabbar, KC Singh makes a suggestion here, a transfer of prisoners policy between India and Pakistan. Could that work, Javed Jabbar?
I think that in principle, such an agreement is worth exploring and concluding. And without exception, you know, terrorism has become a buzzword, but it is quite possible that governments are capable of transferring a crime that is otherwise triable under some other sections into a terrorism-related offense. So one has to be cautious about such an agreement not wholesale excluding the so-called blanket concept of terrorism.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for Retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.